Emily Mason joins us right now to talk a little bit more about Jack Dorsey's project that's been through a lot of fits and starts, and now a company that is going to be leaner. Is that the idea here?
Yeah, I think Jack is kind of an innovator, and he really believes that he can run the business more efficiently with fewer people by leaning on like AI tools and just making them more efficient. So they've invested in Goose, which is their internal tool, and they're really planning on leaning on that a lot.
Is there a sense here, though, when we talk about what this company is trying to be? And I know there's been a lot of speculation about its future, whether there could be a potential buyer, whether it would be a buyer for something else here. Is there any way to connect the dots there?
I mean, I think it's hard to speculate on, like, PayPal's been the story this week. I think it's hard to say that they're going to swoop in and buy. I mean, it's always hard to tell with these things. I think based on this, it feels less likely, but that's kind of just me talking.
But does it seem like when you talk to management, this is a proactive move? Because at least if you were, I don't know, thwarting off an activist investor, you can say, well, we cut our workforce by 40%, so that buys us 9 months to turn the company around?
They're really trying to communicate that this is coming from a place of strength. Like, they're trying to highlight that they had a strong 2025. They've kind of increased their lending initiatives. They say that they're growing profitably, or they're growing their profitability. And they really want to communicate that this is coming from a place of strength, and that's kind of what's going on here.
I just want to clarify, too. I finally pulled up the Q4 shareholder letter. So they have about 10,000 employees, according to this letter. So basically, they would drop that to around 6,000, Bailey.
Which is a big drop. And again, this is a company that you go back to 2021. During the pandemic, it was trading $281 a share. Now it's at 55. I mean, Romaine asked, but like, what is the vision of Block? Like, if you were to talk to a Jack Dorsey, like, what does this company look like 5 years from now?
I think that's been something that investors have struggled with, and why the shares have been so reactive when earnings drop is because they talk about a lot of different things. Like, they also talk about their Bitcoin initiatives a lot, and people struggle to understand that and where it fits into the business.
I also want to just read something else in here, Emily, and get your reaction to it. I mean, he talks about, and this is, I'm quoting him, and he says his core thesis is simple, that intelligence tools have changed what it means to build and run a company, and basically a significantly smaller team using those tools can do more and do it better. He also says that he thinks a lot of companies are late to this. And I think back to some of the attrition that we saw in some of the big names like Meta and a few others over the last couple of years, where they kind of also publicly kind of said the same thing. They didn't make as dramatic of a cut, but this idea that technology had advanced enough, and maybe that they overhired too in the previous cycle, that they didn't need as many people.
And that's his point, right? Is he's trying to say, like, I think we got bloated. I think we need to become more efficient. Like, they have been kind of restructuring and doing rolling layoffs since at least 2024. And that's kind of where they're at. And, I hope that they're happy at this headcount and they don't have to let more people go. But yeah, he's making a bold bet.
Well, I think the interesting thing, back to the PayPal point, we see Stripe continuing to grow in the private markets. Is this a situation where if Block was private, these would be decisions made in a dark room that no one would really care to talk about?
I mean, I think it's hard to say how they'd act if they were private. I mean, they probably wouldn't come out and announce that they were laying off nearly 40% of their workforce. I probably wouldn't if I was running a private company. So yeah, I think it's hard to say, but they have to report because they're public.